Hello and welcome to Feller, and today you will learn how to develop the transformation of a dress. Mermaid cut with godette. For this transformation we are going to work with our body base patterns. And we are going to need two very important measures: knee length and total length. For the knee length you will measure from the waist to the knee point. For the total length we are going to work with an extra measure, which will be that you are wearing the shoes that you will wear to this design. To finish the class we will be left with a completely front and back pattern as follows. Finished, where we will be working for our front a sweetheart neckline, we are going to make invisible tweezers. In the same way for the back pattern we will be working invisible darts. And I'm going to share some tips when creating this type of transformation. I invite you to join me on this class where you will learn a new way to create your patterns. Measure, we are going to start, and what I have already done is to highlight the entire contour of the pattern of the base dress, and what I did is highlight from the bust contour, since I'm going to be needing a lot of space in the whole sheet template for this example. And I have it this way. Up to this point everything highlighted, and from this we will be giving the respective transformation. What we are going to do then will be from the waistline we are going to be working. The first point that we are going to be marking is going to our knee length. From the point of the waist we will then mark the measurement of your knee. You will mark the length. For my example it comes to this point. And we will mark from the long waist, wanted. At this point, as the principle explains, you should already take into account the total length by adding the extra inches of footwear you will wear for this dress. Let's square and horizontal line. You will mark it this way in the total length, a little long. Since we're going to transform a transformation, bonus at this point. And what I'm going to do at this point is going to be work the same measurement of the fourth hip, transferring this measurement, in my case 25 centimeters. Transfer that same measurement, we mark it. We are going to notch and enter from 2 to 3 centimeters. For the transformation of this design, I will work with 3 centimeters my transformation. We entered. It's already measured. Let's unite until the line, hip. Thus, you will translate that line to the hip line, and what I'm going to do for the total length is going to be the measurement of the quarter of contour, that for me examples is 25 centimeters, multiplied 25 by 2 equals, in my case, equals 50 centimeters. In this way I mark the 50 centimeters. I am going to join it diagonally to the knee line. You will stay this way. We are going to translate this measurement from the knee to the total length. How much did I measure us? We mark in that same measure. We move to mark us on the side. For my example, it comes to mark up to this spot. You only measure from this point to this point. For my example here they are 30 centimeters. Then I measure again at this point the 30 centimeters. And we mark it. So far we have it ready. What we are going to do for the cotta, I am going to be working on a flow of 1.20 meters. I will mark from this point. I'm going to square in a horizontal line. Mark them this way. You will join in a diagonal line from this point to this point. We already have it marked. What I'm going to do now, from the total point of the tail of the total length of the tail, I am going to leave 30 centimeters. You are a standard measure that is used in this design, 30 centimeters, and I will join from this point to the knee line 30 centimeters into what? You can also add more. As in this example, I'm going to be working with a godet, that is why it marked that measurement, and the godet is going to give that necessary amplitude. Very well marked, and all these points, what I'm going to do is going to be to divide this point with this point between two. And from this point towards the outside, I'm going to go out 7 centimeters. In this way you will mark it, your 7 centimeters. And what we are going to do now is join this point in a semicircular line. It will do as follows. What we are going to do now is measure from this point to this point, how much marks us. And we will be working with that measure, from this point to this point. We are going to draw that same measurement in a vertical line. This way you will have a vertical line. Now on this side I no longer have space, so I'm going to work from this side. So you don't get confused, so I'm going to draw a horizontal line like this. To be able to work the godet now, here I leave you at your discretion, can work from 1 meter or 1 meter and a half. For this example I will work with 1 meter, and we are going to divide this measurement 50 centimeters on each side. 50 centimeters. In this way, I am working on scale. Let's connect both points diagonally. The godet will remain in this way. What we will do now, again measure from this point to this point. We move to the sides. And on the other side we do the same. Very well, we already have it marked up there. Before cutting we are going to add, at this point, since our godet is circular, the shape, we are going to add at this point about 10 to 15 centimeters. I'm going to leave here a measurement of 15 centimeters to this spot. So we're going to trim this extra size. Very good, the cut godet will look like this, and what we are going to do is to join this piece from the knee line. Thus, we put together, and we have the same measure that we mark a while ago. What we will do now, from here, of the whole point of our godet, I'm going to mark it, this vertical line, tracing a little more like this. And my godet will work, adding 10 centimeters to give that circular shape. And my pattern ended up being perfect. Very good, it will stay this way. I already have it marked, and we're going to cut it. We already have it finished, what comes to be the transformation of the godet. For this design, we are going to focus on the back of the pattern in order to develop the transformation. The back here is simple. What we will do will be work a design of a lower back for this point. I'll do it freehand like this. I'll work from the point of bust girth. It will be work thus. Perfect. I already have the transformation here. Very important, before you can continue, we have to create an invisible clamp, as we have to work the invisible clamps on contoured parts or semicircular in shape. Since these parts are the ones that cause those little bags in the garments, and if it is necessary to create a clamp invisible and this is not transferred to the fabric, we only work on the paper, making it disappear. That extra measure that remains after. What we will do is mark a vertical line between the measure of our gripper and the side of the pattern. There is no measure for this since it is an invisible clamp, as its name says. We draw a vertical line and give 1 centimeter on each side. Let's close this point. Perfect. So far we have it completely finished. What I came to do the pattern of the back. We are going to work with the pattern on the front. I already highlighted the entire contour of the pattern, base of the dress. And what I did for this type of garment is to work with haute couture type darts and highlight it in this way. This is a haute couture dart. And if you didn't see how to draw the pattern, the haute couture type dart, on the description of the video I will be leaving you in the link how to create this clip, haute couture, since it will be necessary to work with this type of tweezers. Because this type of garment must fit perfectly to the body, what we will do is, from the waist measure knee length, from waist to full length. Let's square these points on horizontal line. What we will do in the knee line is to transfer the measure of the fourth part of the hip contour. We just move that same measure. At this point, I will enter 2 to 3 centimeters to shape our mermaid dress. I will work with 3 centimeters. I am going to join this point diagonally with the line, hip, moving that line, and in the total length we are going to be working with the fourth hip. Or we translate this same measure, and we multiply it x2. We join this point with the point of the knee line in a diagonal line. It will stay this way, and what we will do is measure from this point to this point. Transfer the same measure to our measure sideways. What we will do in this point, it will be joined to the center line of the pattern. Perfect. We will now do the transformation in the upper part of the pattern. What becomes the pattern of body? For this transformation I will be working with a sweetheart neckline. And what is going to be the central point of the bust that I have marked? I am going to draw a horizontal line at that height, at the center point of the body, so far. And for my example I am working with a bust radius of 6 centimeters. I'm going to mark a horizontal line on my line, which is my bust contour point. Thus. And I will be creating then the shape of the sweetheart neckline. From this point they can go down from 1.5 to 2 centimeters to give that comfort in the armpit. I will leave it at that point, but it is very important to mention it. Now it will only be to shape to the sweetheart neckline, since they can be easily done. This transformation, and I'm going to close this sweetheart neckline makeover. I will mark diagonally 1 centimeter invisible tweezer. These tweezers, they are made, as I told you, in areas where the semicircular parts are found. And these points are perfectly supported to the body so that those little bags are not left in the final design. In this way, from this equal point on a diagonal line, there is no measure for this, you can trace it. Wherever you like. The invisible tweezers we no longer have then, so far closed. That was all for today. I hope you liked this transformation that we started from the basic dress pattern. It is very simple to do it. But for you to be perfect, the garment on the body has its tips. We are going to be talking about this later in others videos. At the same time, I also invite you to follow me on the Facebook page where I am sharing some news and I have been more active. Also invite them to join the member group where the templates for the member group are already ready. 2 PDF templates available. A template that is the base pattern of the industrial scale body, which has 6 sizes, and bustier pattern containing 3 sizes. It is available for group members where I will be sharing more news and videos. Exclusives. If you like the video, you can give me a like, and if you are not yet subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. since we are very close to 200,000 subscribers. That was all for today. I hope you liked this transformation of the mermaid cut dress with Godette. I say goodbye, having shared one more episode for the channel where you learned a new way to create your patterns to measure, and with me it will be until a next video. Bye.